This is a picture of my son Matthew when he was like maybe not even a year old. I still love looking at these pictures. They remind me of such a great time when I held my son in my arms. Now he's getting too big, but I still hold on to those memories. As you can see, my son, he's a wonderful little boy. He's so handsome. He must get his great looks from his mom, of course. And this picture means a lot to me. It's a picture of me, my sister, and my mom. My mom was a very special woman, and I have so many precious moments and memories. And sometimes I get a little choked up when I look at this picture because I realize how special my mom was and how beautiful. And unfortunately, she had some problems, and she was a very strong woman. She loved us, and I have so many happy times, memories cherished. And I cry sometimes because my mom meant the world to me. This is a picture of my wife and I when Maddie was just a little baby at Christmas. That was his very first Christmas. And these are nice memories, you know. These are little memories, but they last a whole lifetime. I'll always remember my son when he was a little boy. It's a great time. My son is autistic. He's been diagnosed since he was 2 years old. And it's been hard, you know. We tried to make the best of it. And there's a little capture of the house. It's small, but we manage well, you know. It's our little home sweet home. This is a picture of my dad. He was an iron worker. And this is a picture of my mom. She was a beautiful woman. I have so many wonderful memories of them both. And I'm going to turn the camera to myself because I want to share, you know, about things, and especially my son with autism. I've been writing a blog now for, let's say, at least a year now. It's been since July. And I write a lot from my heart. You know, I think it's important that we make a connection, you know, dealing with autism and dealing with life and all the things that we go through kind of help shape us as human beings, as people. And, you know, when I think about all that I had gone through and seeing my dad work hard his whole life and my mom, I have many times where I prayed as a little boy, hoping that things would work out, and they worked out good. You know, unfortunately in life we do deal with sad things, sad events, sad happenings, but that's part of living, you know. We all have to go through that. I think that we just have to be optimistic and hold on to hope and, you know, find things that interest us. You know, I've been very lucky that I had parents who cared for us all. I have two sisters, and they are very wonderful to me. We have a good relationship. They have their families and their lives. But we all make the effort to see each other during holidays. I think that's very important. I know when I was a little kid growing up, we loved having time spent with our families. I remember we would go over to my father's parents' house for Christmas, and my mom's parents as well for Christmas. And those are beautiful times, special memories, seeing all our relatives, our cousins. And, you know, I kind of want Maddie to experience that too. We do have family. We have, you know, lots of cousins that Maddie gets to see during the holidays. And loves to see him smile and get to hang out with his cousins and enjoy the times shared. They always love to gather around the Christmas tree at Christmas time and open their presents, which is a priceless time for all of us. We're all kids, really, when you think about it, and we all love to open presents. And, you know, I'm no different, even as an adult. But now it's more special when we have a child and we see him, his eyes brighten. You know, he still believes in Santa, and I think that's wonderful. He's 11 years old, but he has that innocence about him. You know, one thing I notice about children with Asperger's is they're such wonderful kids. They have so much potential and promise, and I just think the world of them. And I would do anything I could for my son to make his life better and give him all the chances that he deserves. I was fortunate that my parents helped me with college, and they were my source of inspiration, and they pushed me. And that's what I'm doing to for my son. I want to be able to give him all the guidance and all the wonderful chances that he deserves. You know, he's very bright and he deserves a college education, and that's what I'm working to save for him. I think all kids that are on the autistic spectrum have such wonderful abilities and talents, and it just is amazing what they can do. If you give a child the chance, they'll flourish because they just know in their heart that they are worth everything, and their family behind them, giving them the love and support they need, makes it extra special. And that's what a child needs. They need that love and support. They need that very much in their life. And basically, when I write about a lot. I probably get somewhat repetitive in what I write, but it's all pretty much the same for me, because my goal is to give my son the chances that I had when I was a kid. You know, when I think back to my own childhood, I know that we have our little trials and tribulations, I guess you could say, growing up. I was very shy as a boy growing up, and, you know, even though I had things that interested me, and I had a love of baseball and getting involved with kids, I pretty much was pretty quiet, and I stayed to myself. I had some good friends. I was fortunate, and I loved to be with my family, and I also enjoyed the times I got to spend on the baseball field and with my friends. And that's what I'm hoping to see with my son too, because he's 11 now. When I was his age, I was a little bit more active with sports. My son, I'm not going to push him. I want him to develop naturally, and that's very important. I don't want him to feel pressured. That's not my intention. My intention is to encourage him and guide him and show him things that may interest him, lead him, and give him the opportunity, because that's what an autistic child needs. They need to know that they have a support system. They need to know that they're loved and that their parents are committed and want to do the best for their child. And I've, since day one, since the day my son was born, since the day I held him in my arms, I've pledged that I would always do the right thing for him, give him a good life, and do everything in my power to see him grow. You know, it hurts when I see my son get frustrated and when he feels like his life is coming to an end. I think we all go through that. That's just part of being a kid and growing up. I remember times when I felt like I just wanted to bury myself in my room and close the door and not have anybody talk to me. And, you know, I see that with my son too, and I understand where he's coming from, and that's when you got to spend the time with your child, sit down with them, feel them out and talk and get them to express what's going on. You know, life is not everybody's cup of tea, you know. We all have to push ourselves. We all have to, even getting up in the morning early to go to school, my son always fights us. He doesn't want to get on the bus at 6:30 in the morning. It's a hassle for him. So, you know, we have to be understanding. We have to support him, but we also have to show him that, you know, you have responsibilities, and every child needs to be responsible, especially children of special needs. They have to learn. They're just like every other child, no different. And that's what we have to show the world, is that autistic children have just as much a right to do everything that all the kids deserve to do. And they have they have the talents, the abilities, they have the heart, the compassion, the love, the drive, the ambition. It's all just everything that we learned, we have to show for children who have special needs too, because we're their support system. We're the ones that are responsible for them. We're the ones that guide them. You know, not everybody understands what families go through with kids of special needs, and I don't want to be treated any differently. I don't want my son to be treated differently. We just want him to have the fair chance that every other child has. And that's really it. You know, I'm going to continue to write because writing helps, and I think it's important to show everybody through writing what it is that autism is. And since autism is on the rise, I think that more and more people will be interested in learning and finding the proper